Hello, my name is Adrea, nickname Raya or Ray Ray, like the rays of the sun. Welcome to my channel. I live in California and this is my third video that I decided to post on YouTube. My experiences with manic depression include depression with suicidal ideation, anxiety, mania, and the undiagnosed set of symptoms of bipolar 1 or schizophrenia. The symptoms are complex, and I have been handling the symptoms for years. I've decided to stop hiding. Since experiencing a psych ward, I have been diagnosed for 3 years with the same psychiatrist. In this third video, titled Not Locked Down on YouTube, I will be talking about restraints, a second experience of mania, and how friends and family have coped with it. I will include one experience of clinical depression with suicidal ideation, share how friends and family have helped me, talk about a relative of mine with clinical depression, and current treatments for electroshock or electroconvulsive therapy that the state hospitals used to use. I have a second example of the symptoms of bipolar 1 or schizophrenia, and one example of panic attacks and anxiety. My first video, titled Miss Mania on YouTube, covered why people should become aware of their symptoms of mania immediately, a perspective on stigma, a more in-depth look at mania, and why people should stop isolating with their illness. I also talked about my first example of an episode of mania in the first video and what the multitude of symptoms felt like. My second video, titled Saboteur on YouTube, talked about the drug Seroquel and how the drug helps symptoms, the correct dose that should be taken, the fear of gaining weight on the drug, with the fear of your personality being lost on the drug or acting like a zombie. I talked about the first example of an undiagnosed experience of bipolar 1 or schizophrenia and what it felt like. I also talked about a perspective on schizophrenia and an artistic depiction of a saboteur which weakens a person. I want to say thank you, and I appreciate the comments on the videos and for visiting the channel and clicking on the channel. Thank you for liking my videos also and subscribing. I hope you find the information in all its forms in this video helpful in your pursuit of information on clinical depression with suicidal ideation, schizophrenia, mania, and anxiety, and what they all feel like. Okay. How does Seroquel help clinical depression? My experience is that Seroquel is restorative. The drug takes away the suicidal thoughts that come into my head. If I take the wrong brand, then the suicidal thoughts actually return. Can you give a first example of depression with suicidal ideation? Yes. I planned my death a number of times in the past because of intense pain and uneasiness that I felt. I looked to a variety of ways which could have ended my life. Electrocution in a bathtub was one way. Who in your family has clinical depression? I found out a month ago that my second cousin on my mom's side has clinical depression. His name is David. He has undergone over 35 ECT treatments. He was a teacher and is very creative. He makes things out of wood, so I mentioned that I needed a dresser. He wasn't allowed to be around power tools or anything that would jeopardize his life, though. What were the results? David is doing great, but has memory fog because ECT caused temporary memory loss. He doesn't remember trivial things. What is ECT? ECT is called electroconvulsive therapy and was originally called electroshock therapy. Seizures are induced in patients to treat their mental disorders. It's a technique that the state asylums used to use. The treatment is less barbaric today. Can you give a perspective on depression with suicidal ideation? There is a tomorrow. My motto is that we were built to survive. If you work on your abilities and discover who you are and pursue your interests, you will be able to find your purpose in life if you give it time. What does depression actually feel like? I actually felt like my whole body was malfunctioning and felt like I was on shutdown for months, and I couldn't see past the fog of my pain. How did your friends help the condition? They listened to me and comforted me. How did your family cope with the condition? My family suffered a tragic loss and endured an equal amount of pain. The loss was difficult to handle for everyone. What's the worst episode of depression that you've ever seen?
You were sitting on the floor in front of the couch, kicking the table, crying.
Can you give a second example of mania? Yes, I have a lot of examples of mania. A second experience is that I kicked a window in the back seat of a police vehicle. Have you had restraints put on you? I had restraints put on both of my legs in a police car. Why did the police do that? I tried to get their attention. What other restraints have been used? A gurney was used when I was in jail. They opened the cell and surrounded the cell. I walked out directly onto a gurney. My legs, torso, and arms were strapped down. They wheeled me through the halls of the jail and took me outside to an ambulance. Why was an ambulance needed? The ambulance transported me to a psych ward. How did you cope with being restrained? I used to do journaling, but I tried to capture the essence of the highs of mania and clinical depression with suicidal ideation by combining their symptoms with symbolism as poetry on paper, which describes what the symptoms feel like. Beginning. We were built to survive. We will not cry. It's a slow and steady climb, but we'll rise. Energy is spent, hopes around the bend. Today, right here, we can mend. Just don't delay. No more time to waste. It's okay now. We're not locked down. We were built to fly. We will not hide. The road is paved with light, only for the wise. There is a tomorrow. It's not far, time to go. We won't fall behind. The light is there. It's inside. Just don't delay. No more time to waste. It's okay now. We're not locked down. Come be a part of this way. To really capture the feelings and internal battle with the symptoms, I've converted my poetry on paper into lyrics and created a song with The Den, which is his nickname, The Den, and the song is called Not Locked Down. His original title was called Doom. How did your friends help with the condition of mania? Mania caused a rift between my friends. At the time, my friends didn't understand my condition, and I didn't understand my condition. It got to a point where the mania got so bad that I isolated from my friends. What does mania feel like? The one word that comes to mind is invincible. How did your family cope with the condition of mania? My mom and dad are the people that have experienced the various episodes of instability. My mom listened to me for hours in a manic state, which I appreciated. Both my mom and my dad recognized that something was wrong, which has changed my life. My grandma persuaded me into telling her about my issues with the condition, but I isolated myself from my immediate family. Can you give an example of your first anxiety or panic attack? Yes. I couldn't walk in either direction in a public place. My friend could only stand with me to help me overcome the overwhelming fear until it passed. What did that feel like? The experience of a panic attack was very uncomfortable, and all I wanted to do was hide. Do you have a second experience of bipolar 1 or schizophrenia? Yes. I saw a flashing car image that wouldn't go away for about 15 seconds in my bed. What was that like? My heart rate quickened because I felt a little shocked by what I witnessed. Do you record the videos of all of the scenes while the songs are playing? Yes, I record all of the videos of the scenes while the original songs are playing for Miss Mania, Saboteur, and Not Locked Down. Journaling, poetry, drawing, photography, music, and lyrics has personally helped me with this illness, and by converting the words into lyrics and song has helped to express what I feel. I hope you enjoy my videos. Please feel free to post comments on my channel, and I hope to post a fourth video on manic depression. Thanks for watching, and now, Not Locked Down.
The road is bleak.